Hi everyone. I wanted to do a short video on a few things that I have been coming across in the past few weeks. Some might say even probably years. On this quest of self-development, there's a couple of things that I have, let's say, probably learned the hard way, and I just wanted to share with my viewers. One of those is being versus doing. Like today, for example, I know I had a list of things to do and I needed to get in most of them done probably by this week. So I told myself, why don't you write down a list of all the things that you have to do? You have 5 days ahead of you, so then you can tackle each of those tasks, right? Therefore, I think it's so important for us to differentiate between being and doing, because I think a lot of the times when I realized that I've gotten super tired, it's because I've just been doing and doing, right? So I told myself, you know what, after work today, you are going to just take the time to just be. And then I decided, you know what can I do that makes me happy? So I'm actually just gonna go into a video. So here I am. Alrighty, so the second thing is self-care. Oof. I think this one is probably the most challenging for me, because I tend to probably overwork myself and get to that point where I've just, I fall sick or I'm just exhausted. So self-care, it's so important. So figure out what is your point, right? What is that point for you to get to needing that self-care? Unfortunately, sometimes for me, I get so far into it, I get so exhausted that my body's just like, you know what, Josefina, you're done. You're literally done. Therefore, I'm trying to just find really ways and tools to not get to that point where I'm just exhausted, because then I'm no good. I'm no good for myself or for anybody else. Let's see. The third one is counting your wins. That one to me is just, it probably goes hand in hand with the other two, with being versus doing, and then self-care. Counting your wins. So you might be asking yourself, why do I need to count my wins, right? But oftentimes I think we get going and don't take the time to stop and think, right? Like, what have I done and what is the purpose of all the things that I'm doing? I think this really brings a lot of perspective, especially if you are at a point where you're like, I'm doing all these things and I don't even know what the point of it is. I think if you count your wins, if you count your blessings, then you can, at least for me personally, I think, let's say at the end of the week, I actually have to give a shout out to my good friend Sandra, who has been great about that, with another one of my friends, Annabelle, just reminding us, right? She just sends a message and is like, these are my wins for the week. What are your guys' wins for the week? So I'm starting to get in the habit of counting those wins myself when I don't have those friends there, right? Because it's great to have the friends, but I think it's also important for you to actually be like, okay, here are my wins. Can I actually list them if that's what I want to do, right? I mean, some people are great at just listing things and just being like, oh, okay, this is what I need, right? So for me, I think having something like that happen at the end of the week, I think it really nicely closes the week, right? Where you can be like, what did I do this week? Like, I worked really hard and I know I accomplished something. So can I see it written, right? Like, I think for me, in a way, there's power in writing it, because then I'm like, see, you don't need to be so hard on yourself. You've done so much. So in that case, then you follow the cycle, right? Like, you go into the self-care, right? Like, an easy peasy thing could be like, if you've got like 3 or 4 wins for that week, what can you do for yourself? How can you reward yourself, right? And then in that sense, for me personally, I think I love art, I love creativity. So for me, it would be something fun, like, just go for a drive somewhere and take some cool pictures of nice sights. It could be a school, sign up for an art class. You did so good this week, you deserve some fun. Like, invite some friends over, or do like an online thing where you can just come together and just be creative. So I suggest all of you to look at those different aspects of your life. The aspect of doing, right? Doing versus being. What do they mean for you? Self-care, right? Like, how does it look for you at the moment, and how can you make it a priority? And counting your wins, right? Like, are we counting those wins enough? Especially these days. I think that we need all the love and all the compassion that we can give ourselves. So I suggest and I encourage you to look at that, because I know I have looked at it in my life and it's just made a huge difference. So I just wanted to take time in this short video to talk about that, because the path of self-development, it's a great one, but at the same time it's important to take stock of how much we're learning, and to give ourselves a pat in the back, so to speak. So I will talk to all of you on the next video that I create. Have a great day.